Hi, in this presentation, I'll be taking you through the attrition problem in the higher education and its solutions. Our area of focus is mainly on the undergraduate students into different years of learning because attrition is a wicked problem and it needs to be dealt at a very specific root level. There's no generic solution that can be applied. So, and it was established in my earlier research that an extremely authoritative environment or an overly regulated environment can be very detrimental to the students' retention and thus can lead to higher attrition rates. Some causes of the attrition in different years, bachelor's degree, as you can see, is here the lack of clarity of the goal, and thus the commitment levels are lesser and the students tend to leave the university. In the second year, there is a greater deal of attrition. Almost 50% of the attrition is from there, and it is due to the lack of academic confidence. And the third year is relating to the university reputation and future orientation. So the solutions that I have come up are mainly for year 1 and year 2, and based on that, we are in a better position to ascertain not ascertain, rather to ensure the retention at the third year level too. So the first year, I would strongly recommend that the learning environment should be skill-based, such that the students can understand the efficacy of their degree and relate to the field of their interest at the ground reality level. And this would bring in that clarity, because of which students often leave by the second year otherwise. So in semester 1, there should be a virtual learning environment where the students could be doing the learning experience as an analyst, as an accountant, as a marketer, or any of the fields that they are interested in, and getting that first-hand experience through the virtual learning environment. If by the second semester, their assignments have to be done based on those experiences. And then when they write that reflective log, there would be automatically much greater clarity of what field they are essentially going to stick to. And this would definitely enable the universities to have a much planning value as well. And a better retention, because now the students are already clear on what they want to do. By the second year, the current mode of learning could be continued. However, we need to address the problem of regulated environment, too much of pedagogic authority, which could be suffocating for the students, and thus build on the academic confidence. And that is only possible when the learning is at the learner-driven pace. What it means is that the assessment system or the universities should not be penalty-driven, but instead reward-driven. And that would mean that if there are strategic students who are wanting to do the work earlier, have a good time management skills, or maybe their demographics have been such that they are trained for such kind of an environment, well, they could benefit by submitting it early. But those who are still setting up their foot into a different setup, as in a university from a completely different ethnic background or a region that they are getting into the universities on, it would be good to give them that kind of a liberty, and a comfortable learning environment would definitely mean greater retention, because no student should be deprived of education or should leave the education system just because they cannot cope up with the deadlines of the pressure of studies. And the outcome, again, would mean better retention. Third one is very much a data-driven solution here when it comes to the learning and teaching engagement. Learner and lecturer engagement, the L&T surveys that we do almost every semester at the end of the semester, and it is said that it is of the planning value for the next semester. But given the fact that attrition is a wicked problem, so what suits good for this cohort may not be applicable to the next cohort, which is why the purpose of the L&T survey should be formative, and thus they should be conducted in week 4 or 4 and 8 actually, if it's a 12-week term. And that could mean, and not only this, I would say that this should have very 3 basic questions as of a reflective log, what the student could do, what the teacher could do to make the learning better, and what the student and the teachers could do together to make it better. And the advantage of this would be that um, whatever data you would collect from there, the learning can be supported then with the systems developed in line with the issues most recognized. So that will make more of a custom-made solution for the students, and the actual purpose would be achieved. And also the sharing of the responsibility would be accomplished in this case. Last but not the least, attendance monitoring and no follow-up. Yes, we should rather follow up, because attendance data are monitored by the universities, but very little is done to actually ascertain the reasons behind that absenteeism. And this is again ultimately for the purpose of reducing the attrition, because if the cause of absenteeism is left unaddressed, there is every chance over the time the student would leave the university. And that would mean that if there these need to be addressed, and the data driven solution again. So based on the reasons for absenteeism, immediate corrective actions can be taken. So if it was to do with the course content, maybe that can be reviewed. If it was to do with the learning environment, that could be reviewed. And if majority of the students say it's personal or other reasons, maybe we need to find out to strengthen our student support team being strengthened and the student welfare team being made better. And that the net result would be better customer care and plus retention. Last but not the least, every lecture must have a poll question at the end, checking on whether the students can relate to the concepts or not. And this helps in having the threshold concepts being addressed and immediate solutions being taken if there is some serious gap in terms of the learning. This is pretty much what we could try at the undergraduate level. Thank you.